Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have 6 hearings in a case with a couple where the husband was ordered to pay his soon-to-be ex-wife $150,000 for equity in the marital home and to transfer the balances of 2 retirement accounts to her. But it's been 7 months since their divorce was finalized, and she hasn't seen a dime. The husband claims that he tried to get a loan to pay her out, but the bank wouldn't give him one if it was only based on his income. He also says that the $150,000 she was supposed to get from the retirement accounts was half the balance, but now, 7 months later, the market has changed and the value in the account has dropped so much that if he gives her the $150,000 that was ordered, then there won't be as much for him, and he doesn't think the way that it's split in the divorce decree is fair. He says he didn't know what to do when he couldn't get the bank loan, so he just didn't do anything. What will the commissioner think of his excuses? Let's find out.
All right, next is Nancy Wessling and Denzel Wessling.
Yes.
I see Ms. Wessling here. Ms. Wessling has brought a motion for contempt saying that none of the requirements of the settlement agreement except number 6, which deals with the World Mart, have been complied with since the settlement agreement. And in particular, the loan for $70,000 has not been apparently paid at this point. Is that right, Ms. Wessling?
Yes, he gave me the title to the car, but also anything, I don't really even know what all's on the divorce decree because I never went and got a copy of it. But from my understanding, he's got a $40,000 one, he said right off the bat, that I could have. And then he has a 401k in Portland that I'm supposed to get half of, is what I understand. And then there was something, I can't remember, there was something else too, but I can't remember. Oh, okay. And the house, he cannot get a loan on it, or cannot get it refinanced. He thought he could, but he can't. And I was being nice to him until he became a brat. So I decided I should give him a wake-up call.
All right, Mr. Wessling, let me ask you a couple questions. Have the parties taken steps to put the LPL retirement account in Ms. Wessling's sole name?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I went to my financial advisor and he advised me to leave the 2 accounts together like they are, because if they were separated, she would get less money and I would get less money. So what I did was I took the total of both accounts and what I get, and I split it down the middle, and I've been making monthly payments from those accounts.
How much do you get on each of those accounts?
I get $191 on one account, and I get like 13. I think it's $13.23.
Okay, and you divide that equally?
Yes, and it comes out to about $790.15.
All right, the problem is that you had agreed that the equitable account will be divided into 2 retirement accounts, one in Nancy Wessling's sole name containing $152,500. The balance would be in your name. doing what we're doing now, if she passes away, then her estate doesn't get any of that money because it's not in her name.
Yeah.
So those accounts need to be divided, even if it results in less payment.
Well,
and she would have the ability to simply cash it out if she wanted to.
yes.
But she doesn't have the ability under what you're doing.
So she contacted me, said that she wanted her money in her name, and I was in process of doing that. I had all the paperwork down there to the financial advisor. The problem is the market is dropped, and she was granted by the court a certain amount of money, which now that money is way more than half. And it shouldn't have been agreed to that she get a certain amount of money. She should have got a certain percent of that money. And I was going to give her that half, and he was in process of doing that because the market could even drop more, and I would end up with a lot less. So it's not in my favor to leave it like it is, you know, where we're both dividing that amount, because it could actually turn really bad for me. So I was in process of splitting that money up, and then the sheriff comes to my door with this contempt of court. So I just stopped everything until I had a chance to find out what was going on.
What's going on with the $70,000 out of the house that you're to provide, Ms. Westling?
Well, what happened was you asked me at that time. You asked me how much money could I get, and so I went to the bank, and they gave me a figure, $70,000, and I came back to the court with that figure. Well, when I went to the bank after that court hearing, now I'm divorced and I make less money. They wouldn't give me the loan. I went to 2 credit unions. I went to the Fiber and I went to Weyerhaeuser, and both of them said no way. They and I didn't know what to do, so I just didn't do anything. I mean I don't have the money, so I'm not sure what to do.
Ms. Westling, anything you'd like to say?
I don't really know what to say, honestly. I know that he couldn't refinance the house because he was supposed to give me $70,000 cash, and then it was supposed to be $150,000, really and truly, in the beginning, and he had it put $70,000 cash and $82,000 when he died. If he dies before me, then, or if I die before him, then I'm just out. I'm already, I don't know what to say about any of it. I know he hasn't complied. He gave me $790 March, April, and May, and that's the only time that he's given me any money. He put it in my account. And he gave me the Walmart thing that I can pay for, so.
All right. So the settlement was reached on November 23rd, 2022. The expectation is that Mr. Wessling would immediately go to the equitable account and split it with $152,500 in the name of Ms. Wessling and the remainder in his name. At that time, it was roughly equal. Mr. Wessling failed to do that. It's now 7 months later, and the market has changed, but I don't think that's a reason to change that agreement. That should have been done within a couple months, and it wasn't. So the requirement is still to go to the equitable and put $152,500 in Ms. Wessling's name.
And the small one?
And I indicated that those transfers were to be completed within 30 days of the entry of the decree. Secondly, as to the $70,000 loan, I'm going to give Mr. Wessling another 60 days to get the $70,000. And if he can't do it, then the house is going to have to be sold because Ms. Wessling is entitled to money from it. And so I'm going to give you some additional time for that.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes,
like
please.
I said, the house, I figured the house was worth $300,000. He had it appraised a couple of years ago. They appraised it for $499. All I wanted was $150, not $70. And he fixed it to where I would only get $70 and then $82 when he died. So that's $150. But if he sells that house, I want my half.
We'll address how that gets handled.
Okay, well, I just wanted that.
If we order it sold. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it just,
So today is June 14th. I'm going to put this over to August 16th at 9 o'clock. I'm not going to find a contempt today. I'm going to basically continue that motion to August 16th. If the equitable account is not divided and if the $70,000 has not been paid, then we'll take additional steps and as it relates to the house, then we'll order the house sold if the $70,000 has not been paid. Okay. And I'll discuss the terms of that sale at that time. Okay. So we'll see you both back here on August 16th then.
Thank you.
All right.
Denzel Westeline present. This is
here.
Oh, hello. This is 22300276608. Let me just get there in our digital file. And Ms. Westeline, can you hear the court?
She might not know how to unmute.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello, Ms. Westeline, can you hear the court?
Yes.
Okay. So, going back and looking at this case, and you two have not been in front of me before, but I have gone through the history of your case. When you were last in front of a judicial officer back on June 14th of this year, it appeared that there was an issue of potential contempt. And what the court ordered at that time was, at today's hearing, we might need to take additional steps if $70,000 had not been paid, as that was due and owing to Ms. Westeline. there was some discussion about sale of a home. So let me start with you, Ms. Westling, and tell me where you're at with receipt of any of the money. And Ms. Westling, you're muted, so you need to hit *6 to unmute if you're on a phone.
Okay, hold on a sec.
I think we have to push it every time.
There you go.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay. He tried for a $70,000 loan and they wouldn't give it to him.
Okay.
Even with me going down and taking my name off the title of the house, which I resented, but that's beside the point. And there was 2 other ones that were supposed to have been taken care of too. There was one for LPL and a 401k. And as of yet, I haven't received anything.
Mr. Westling, tell me what's going on. I'll just be really clear based on my review. You were given 60 days back in June to make a $70,000 payment. Where are we at?
Loan was, it was, went to almost termination for the $70,000 for Nancy. And the lenders, the loan was disqualified because there was a deed of trust for $84,000, and the lenders wouldn't allow the loan. So what I did was, there's a new loan started right now for the full. The $70,000 was for her part of the house, and what I did was I started a new loan for the full amount of her part of the loan. She was supposed to get $70,000, and then $84,000 was going to be for a deed of trust that the title company put on.
Okay. So I'm hearing,
loan.
just let me kind of speed this up. So what I'm hearing is no payment has been made.
Right.
Okay. You're working on getting that money. What's the time frame that you're working with now?
I'm requesting the court to give me a 60-day extension, so that the full amount of $154,000 can be paid to Nancy, and that her half of the retirement fund will be transferred into her name. They don't want to transfer the money into her name so that it shows that I have enough earnings to qualify for the loan. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Okay, so help me understand just a little bit. If you got denied for the 70,000, how are you expecting to get approved for 150?
Well, it was denied because of the deed of trust that was put on the loan from the title company, and the bank doesn't like to play second fiddle to that deed of trust. Okay. So what we're doing now is, and I'm working with my financial guy from LPL Financial, Craig Beard, and Kathy Weaver with Mason McDuffie Mortgage Corporation. She's pretty confident that I will be able to get the $154,000 loan, which would be the $70,000 and the $84,000, and there won't be any deed of trust.
Ms. Westling, what is your position on this request for more time to get the full amount to you?
Well, that's him refinancing the house is what he's doing.
I can't understand you. Can you repeat yourself?
He's trying to refinance the house to get the $150,000, and the LPL he can't do that until he gets the house redone because he wouldn't be making enough money. If he comes up with $150,000 before the next one, then we'll discuss the other. It's one of those. There's 3 of them that he's supposed to give me money.
Yep.
Supposed to be 150, and then there was 150 out of Portland, which they want to buy me out, which I have to give them 20% of it to get it. And then there's the one that Craig Beard has that he wrote in there that I could have, and that's close to 40. So that's where I'm at on all of it. And as of yet, all I'm still getting is the Social Security check for $1,200 a month, which there's no way humanly possible that I could get a place of my own that way.
So here's what I'm going to do. I am looking at the CR 2A agreement that you filed with the court as part of your January dissolution.
Yes.
And the $152,500 was agreed to be paid within 30 days of January 6, 2023. That hasn't happened.
No.
Then the share of the equity of 100 Winchester Drive was listed as $154,555. Within 60 days, again, of January 6th, Mr. Westling, you were supposed to obtain, the word is shall, which means you have to. It's not no waffling there. Shall obtain a loan in the amount of $70,000 to pay Ms. Westling. Again, that was in 60 days.
But ma'am.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Then there were additional qualifications for things that were supposed to be paid. But what I'm primarily looking at first is the $70,000 that the court addressed last time and gave you an additional 60 days to pay, even though here we are 8 months. So we're 8 months past the decree of dissolution. We're 6 months past the date the original $70,000 was supposed to be paid, and the court already gave you an extension of 60 days. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you 30 days. I'm going to give you 30 days from today's date to make the initial $70,000 payment at least. That's the bare minimum that needs to happen within 30 days. If we come back in 30 days and that payment hasn't been made, or I don't have documents from a financial institution telling me that money is coming in short order, Mr. Westling, you are not going to like the other tools that this court has to enforce contempt. And I don't want to go there. I really, really don't. I don't think it serves Ms. Westling because she can't get her money. And Mr. Westling, certainly you don't want the court to utilize those other tools. So please, 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 I'm going to give you 30 days. We're going to set this out to September. Let's give you a little more than 30 days because I know how financial institutions work. Let's go to September 20th, which is Wednesday at 9 a.m. By that date, I want to see that $70,000 at least has been paid, and then we'll talk about all the other stuff. But I want that amount to be paid, or documents that it's coming in short order from a financial institution. If we don't have that and we don't have assurance of payment in short order, I am very likely going to enter an order with a very strong finding of contempt with sanctions. And I don't think that serves either one of you. Okay. So Ms. Westling will be back on September 20 at 9 a.m. If before that time payment is made, You certainly, Ms. Westling, can let the court know and we can strike that hearing date. That is my ultimate hope for both of you. Any questions for me?
No, I just wonder what's going to happen with the rest of it. That's all.
Yep, we'll address that on the 20th if it hasn't been paid.
Okay.
Mr. Westling, any questions for me? Any questions for me, sir?
No.
No.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. All right. We'll see you back on the 20th. I think you've got your work cut out for you, sir. So good luck.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. This takes us to number 14 on the docket, 223-0027608. This is Nancy Westling and Denzel Westling.
I'm here.
Okay. So I have, this is a case where you all were in front of me August 16th. This is a case where there is an allegation of a significant payment that hasn't been made per a CR2A agreement. Let me ask the parties where we are at.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Ms. Westling, go ahead.
He got me the money for the house, the 150, but the other two have not been addressed yet.
Okay. Well, that's good news at least.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so what date did you receive the 150?
I don't know, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, Mr. Westling, good job on that. I was worried that we were going to be having to address all of the issues. So I think that's great news. That's a large amount of money. I'm glad you were able to get that paid. What I had wanted was, I had granted a 30-day extension to make a $70,000 payment. And then I said we'd deal with the remaining issues. I'm going to find today that, you know, by my math, 150,000 is more than 70,000. So
well, it's supposed to be 150, but the way he put it into the divorce thing, I got 70, then 84 after he died, which I thought was kind of ironic. But that's the only way they would give him the loan was the whole 150.
Right. So you did receive $150,000.
I did for the house, but the other two were not addressed.
And the other two, I believe, are the
LPL.
Is it the retirement account?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Mr. Westling, what do you want to tell me? My inclination is, because of you are in substantial compliance with what I ordered last time. You've paid more than I ordered last time. I'll probably just set a continued review date. So what I'm looking for from you is when you think those other payments could potentially be made.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I filled out the paperwork for that a month ago, and I called Beard Financial this morning to ask where we were at with that, and they said that they were waiting from the financial institution to send paperwork for Nancy to fill out on what she wants to do with the money.
The retirement account?
Yes.
Okay.
So it should be, she said it should be coming any minute. Right now, the whole thing, my whole account is frozen and nobody's receiving any money out of it. So it should be any day, she said.
So I'm just seeing, okay, change to 150. The 70,000 was changed. So other than the retirement account, Ms. Westling, I'm just looking at the CR2A agreement, and I know there were some changes made. What's your understanding as to what else remains to be paid?
I really don't know. I know that we're supposed to get half of the LPO.
Yeah, that's half of the retirement account.
Yeah. And then the other one, he's the one said that he'd just give me the whole thing, which I didn't understand that, but.
Okay. What if we do this? Let's set a review date for 30 days out to check the status of the retirement transfer. I'll just continue to reserve ruling on the contempt, but what I'll find today is that there has been substantial compliance made towards payment of the CR2A agreement. Okay, so if we set this for October 25th at 9 a.m., would you both be available?
Yes.
Okay.
If I'm still here.
Well, we certainly hope so. And I appreciate you both being here today, waiting for this long docket, and Mr. Westling making some real progress on this. Thank you.
That's October 25th.
Yep, October 25th, same docket, the family law A link on Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you both. Next on my list, as far as filing dates, is Nancy Westling and Denzel Westling, 223-0027608. Good morning.
Morning.
So what I show is we're simply here on a review, kind of where we're at with regard to the remainder of the dissolution proceed payout.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Westling that there was retirement account issues that were still outstanding. It looks like Ms. Westling had been given some paperwork to fill out.
Yes. As far as paperwork, everything's been submitted. She has an account where the money is supposed to go. We're just waiting for the money to show up.
Okay. Ms. Westling, sorry, you're muted, ma'am. You might, if you're on a phone, click *6.
There we go.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Go ahead.
Okay. He told me yesterday he has some papers I have to sign for that retirement account.
Okay. And you haven't done that part yet?
He just told me about it yesterday. So.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go ahead and just set this over for a review in about 30 days?
Yeah, it sounds good to me. It should be through by then.
Okay. Let's set this to November. Do you want the day before Thanksgiving or do you want the week after Thanksgiving?
Ask him.
The week before will be fine.
Okay, so let's do it's the week of, so it'd be November 22nd at 9 a.m.
Okay.
All right, that's okay with me.
Okay.
November 22nd?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, that'll be the new review date, and we'll see where you all are at that time.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you both.
You have a good day, sweetie.
You too, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Number 4 on the docket, Westling v. Westling, 223-0027608. Do I have Nancy Westling and Denzel Westling?
Yes, ma'am. You have me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay.
It looks like we were waiting maybe on signature of documents.
Yes, ma'am. It's a 401k that he had, and LPL, they're not coming through with what they're supposed to do.
So that has not been accomplished. Mr.
No, as far as I know.
What can you tell me? My notes from last time indicate she needed to sign some documents and then the transfer could be completed. You're muted, Mr. Westling.
There we go. I just called my financial advisor, and he was trying to find out this morning some information to give you about what's going on. And as far as I can tell, we're waiting on signed documents from LPL and Nancy's financial advisor to send to Equitable. They're waiting for the initiation of this transfer of money, and the holdup right now is Nancy's financial advisor's been on vacation for the last 2 weeks, and so it'll be next Tuesday before I will be able to talk to somebody about getting that signature forwarded to Equitable.
Ms. Westling, does that sound correct to you, or do you dispute what Mr. Westling is
kind
saying?
of in the dark. I thought we already did everything we're supposed to do.
Hold on a second. Ms. Westling, I know you're on Zoom, but you are in a courtroom. You cannot be smoking during your court case.
Sorry. But yeah, as far as I knew, everything was ready. And it was a holdup with LPL, not my financial worker.
Have you talked to your financial advisor and signed paperwork to the best of your understanding?
As far as I know, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, it's hard for me to know without this got a he said, she said matter. I don't know. Mr. Westling, honestly, you've kind of been telling me the same story for a long, long time now. And what I dislike is when we give you a month to get something done, and then the day before the hearing, you're reaching out to your financial advisor to get a document to me for today. That doesn't help me. So I am going to give you guys another review date. Mr. Westling, this is a contempt motion against you. So you can't just sit back and wait for Ms. Westling or someone on her behalf to do something. You need to hold on a second. I'm not done. You need to proactively be the person to shuffle this through and get it done. This is on you. This is your account. So you have to get this done. If, as you're telling me, there's documentation that Ms. Westling needs to do something and isn't getting it done, then get me that documentation. But I find that hard to believe without any documentation in the file right now to suggest that. Go ahead, Mr. Westling. What do you want the court to know?
I just want the court to know that I have been proactive. I've called Equitable several times, and I don't know the number to LPL, but I have been trying to get a hold of her financial advisor, and as far as I know, they got the message that this paperwork needs to be filled out, but so far they haven't come through with it. I've been waiting. I don't have any money to live off of right now. My account's froze up because of the whole thing. So I've been doing everything that I can to get to where I can make, have money to live off of.
So here's going to be my ruling today. So we've been here several times trying to get this done. The decree of dissolution incorporating this requirement was entered into on January 6th
2023. So we're approaching a year. I find that unacceptable. We have got to get this done before the end of the year. I am going to set this out 30 days to December. We'll have docket on the 20th. December 20th at 9 a.m. Does that sound right? Yes. Okay. We're going to set you to December 20th at 9 a.m. I want to know that this got done, but Mr. Westling, that gives you a little less than 30 days to really push this through. And if it's something that Ms. Westling still needs to do, then you or your financial advisor need to notify her or her financial advisor, because she's unaware of anything else that needs to be done to get this accomplished. So I'm giving that little bit of time for this to get done. But on December 20th, that'll be 11 months into this process. And I will consider sanctions at that time under the contempt motion if we don't either have it completed, or I have documents from financial advisors telling me we're getting real close, we've made substantial steps, or we're waiting on Ms. Westling's signature. So if it's not done, I need one of those two things in my file before the 20th, okay?
Okay. One more thing, there was money coming from two accounts, one from Equitable and the other one from LPL.
Okay.
And the one from LPL, the smaller one, has been completed and was put into her account.
And I
so
think
it's
that
like
was
halfway there.
That was done previously, right? I think we had already.
No, it hadn't been. Just this week.
Oh, okay.
It went through.
And how much was that transfer?
It was I got a paper. It said 21,000 some change.
Okay. Ms. Westling, did you receive that amount in the last week or so?
I was told. I haven't went down and talked to my financial worker since we went down and signed a bunch of papers. So.
Okay.
And he also brought some over for me to sign so that he could get that other money.
Okay. That's all really positive news. I appreciate that, Mr. Westling. We'll see you back on December 20th, and hopefully we've put the last piece of the puzzle into place on this, and you all don't have to come back here in 2024. Okay.
That would be great.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you both.
Thank you.
And then let me go ahead and take the Westling matter. This is number 5 on our docket, 223-0027608. We have Nancy Westling and Denzel Westling.
What did you think? What? Yes.
Okay.
Mine's muted. I don't know. I'm muted. Yes.
Okay. And I'm just looking for the other party. Are you both?
Yeah, we're both here. We're both sitting in the same room, even.
Oh, look at you guys. Wow. I am in. Okay. Well, you're sitting in the same room. It tells me things aren't going horribly. Tell me where we're at with regard to this review.
It's all done, taken care of.
It is all done. Okay.
All the financial stuff got all took care of.
Okay, so everything got transferred appropriately?
Yes.
Okay. So then what I'm inclined to do, and I'm just going to pull up the original motion, since ma'am, Ms. Westling, it was your motion for contempt to move this along. It sounds as if you are withdrawing your motion for contempt at this point. Is that accurate to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what I'm just going to note in my clerk's minutes is that Mr. Westling has fully complied at this point. It took us a little while to get here, but I'm very glad to hear that you are both at this point. In fact, sitting in the same room even. So you win today.
And I will just go ahead and strike your contempt motion, or excuse me, I'll not strike it. I'll note that you're withdrawing your motion for contempt at this time.
I think he won today too.
Well, good. Good to both of you. Anything else you need from the court? It sounds like you all can be done with us.
Yeah, we're fine. I'm through.
Mr. Westling, anything you need from the court?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, nice to see you both. And we probably don't need to see you again. So take care.
I don't know. We might want to just see your smiling face.
So anytime.
Okay.
Really proud of the two of you. Where this started, I don't know if I would have guessed we'd ended up right here, but good job.
Yes.
Great job.
I agree. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, you too.
Okay, and then let's go to, I was just checking to see, do we have Mr. Gross on yet? Does not look like